Disclaimer: the insights and opinions shared on this show are for educational and entertainment purposes only. Before making any financial decisions, we recommend consulting with a qualified professional to better understand your unique financial situation. Welcome to the Investors Playbook Show, where our mission is clear: empowerment through financial education. We firmly believe that financial freedom isn't a privilege, it's a right that's available to everybody. Each week, we dive deep into the world of finances, breaking down complex topics and making them accessible and actionable for everyone. As we grow this community, we invite you to join us on this journey. Why tune in? Because together, we're not just learning about wealth, we're building a movement, reshaping futures, and proving that with the right knowledge, financial success is within everyone's reach. It's time to get off the sidelines. Let's go.
Welcome back to another episode of Investors Playbook, where you have your hosts Deshaun and Cornell. And as always, we come at you with financial topics, financial literacy, and any type of financial current events. But as always, we got to go over the
announcements, of
yeah,
course. So
yeah,
we got the Facebook group. We're trying to get more people in there, more engaged. I've been posting, little topics to get people conversing. So yeah, we would really like for more people to join in. Help facilitate the conversation so we can all help each other grow. Also, we have InvestFest.
mm-hmm.
InvestFest is still coming at the end of August. All right, so we look forward to this. This will give us a lot of exposure, and we look forward to the conversations that we'll have with everyone that we meet there, of course. So, Deshaun, do you have anything that you'd like to say about?
No, I mean, like we've always mentioned, InvestFest is going to be an exciting time. We've only just attended as attendees, and now we have an actual booth set up, so that's exciting. It's a first for us at InvestFest. But I think it's going to be a very interesting educational experience for not just us, for anyone that even comes to our booth. So definitely looking forward to it. Come check us out in Atlanta at the end of August. So yeah.
Facts. And so, like, getting into the topic that I know we both wanted to talk about, and I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
that if you're looking at the stock market, you've seen um, since past Monday, tech stocks have taken a big hit, right? So, like, the top 100 stocks in the NASDAQ have taken a fall, especially
Mm-hmm.
like Nvidia, AMD, Taiwan Semiconductors, and these are heavy hitters because this is kind of what is creating AI. This is how AI is advancing through these chips.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, in the past week, QQQ is down 4%. The heavy hitters like Nvidia is down 8%, AMD down 17%, Taiwan Semiconductors down 12. So with these heavy deficits, what do you think is going to happen in the near future, Deshaun? Like when it comes to the semiconductors, we know that AI is a thing. We know that it's developing, it's getting better. We know the top companies like Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, they all need these chips. What do you think is the next steps for these companies that are down so much?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that the first thing we need to look at is the reason why it went down, right? Like, what was the cause of these tech stocks to drop as heavy as they did and as fast as they did? And in doing research, the reasons why. I mean, everybody has their speculations, but according to news outlets, it has been conversations between the amongst the Biden administration that they're going to restrict trading with China. And we know that we are getting a lot of tech from China, right? A lot of these semiconductors, a lot of these tech companies, a lot of these chip making companies are are based in China, in Asia, in those countries. I think that we have to first figure out, after those talks have happened, what happens next. Are we actually going to go through with the restrictions? And if that happens, I mean, there might be continued falling of the market, but I feel like we have gotten so reliant on this technology. I don't imagine that it will be a complete drop, right? I don't imagine that it'll be a complete fall of the tech stocks. I think it's going to be a dip like it's happening now, like it always does. The stock market has peaks and it has valleys. And tech has been peaking over and over and over again. So this 4% downturn just seems very huge because of how far it's gone. But if you zoom back out, right, like zoom out even further, yes, over the past week, AMD is down 17%. But if you look like over the past year, AMD is up 31%. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you gotta zoom out to see how far these tech companies have come. But yeah, in the present, like right now, what just recently happened, it did get hit pretty hard. But that was because of the talks amongst the Biden administration, not just the Biden administration, but also former President Donald Trump, also feeling the same sentiment in regards to restricting trade amongst um, the the chip makers, the semiconductor companies that are not U.S. based. So that's definitely going to affect the market, affect the stocks and how we view the value of them. So as far as just the stock itself, it's going to hit its valley, but man, I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. I feel like it's going to come right back up.
I agree. I agree, man. So like with this, I do see opportunity. You know, like as you said, this stuff is needed. So when you see dips like this, it's kind of like it's on sale,
Mm-hmm.
right? So this is kind of why everybody's fearful. This is kind of when you want to, accumulate your shares. But there's also something that happened earlier, like last week, right? I'm not sure if you've heard of CrowdStrike, like the
Yeah, I wanted to
cybersecurity.
talk about that, bro. My bad. Go ahead.
Nah, yeah,
Because
you
that's
probably
like
know
my,
more. Yeah, that's your
yeah,
field. Nah, let me
yeah.
know. Let me know.
Bro, so CrowdStrike last week had a major IT disruption, um,
Global.
global. And the biggest impact that people felt, right, like was airlines. Like people couldn't get home, people couldn't leave, people couldn't get back to where they were going, people couldn't travel because their outage created so much widespread impact on the information technology infrastructure. And you know these planes rely on technology. A lot of times people think that pilots are definitely flying the plane, but a lot of what they use is that technology, not just to fly the plane, but to also communicate with the other planes, communicate with air traffic control. All of that is really it can't fly unless it has those things in place. You know what I mean? There's too many airplanes in the air to just say, all right, you go, make sure if you see something, don't hit it. Like, nah, you have to have you have to have the technology so that you are aware of all of your surroundings all the time. And if that's not in place, then planes aren't taking off. So a lot of planes were grounded. And from what I read and what happened, people immediately assumed that it was like a cyber attack, and that, according to CrowdStrike, is not the case. Their CEO made a statement saying, basically, we now I want to make sure that I get this right, but what happened exactly was they were testing something or doing
It
some
was an update. They said
update.
it was an update, bro.
Yeah, it was an update. And
And they said it was a small update.
you remember it was a couple episodes ago where I was talking about sandboxing.
Yes.
That is why sandboxing is so important. Because if they would have sandboxed and tried to do this update, they would have seen, okay, these are the possible effects that could happen. But because they did the update, and I don't know, maybe they did test it, maybe they did practice it, and it
So,
just.
so let me ask you something. Do you
Mm-hmm.
feel like companies can become too confident where it's like, okay, this is just a small little update, this is
Yeah,
something that and then they launch it not expecting to brick all of these computers that are like these Windows computers. So, and the thing is, CrowdStrike had so much. Well, I'm not gonna say had. I feel like it's a big deal, right? This is a big deal. Like to do something globally that affected all these people. CrowdStrike in the past 5 days is down 17%.
yeah. Because of blunders like this, like you can really shift the shareholder sentiment of your
Yeah.
company.
So,
And this is a fat finger. Well, I don't know. Again, fat finger. They might have tested it and it worked. Well, you know fat finger, right?
yeah.
uh, Yeah, bro. It might be a fat finger. Maybe someone, like you said, was too confident and was like, "Man, this is just a tiny update. All we're doing is changing like permissions. Let's just send it." And it creates thousands of blue screens of death. And we remember those from Windows days. It's like, well, not remember because it still happens. But when you get that, you just like, okay, what do I do now? Because you just don't know, right? It's like going into the BIOS automatically and it just saying crash error, something's wrong. And when that
And
happens, bro,
on a plane, like, can you imagine that, bro? Like you on a plane
yeah,
and something said, yeah, that's insane.
right.
So, like, and I don't know if you've done a whole lot of research on CrowdStrike, but what do you think is going to happen with them? Because I know that this was a highly reputable business, and it showed a lot of promise.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it wasn't really high in market cap, but I think it was projected to get there. But
Mm.
after this blunder, like, do you still see this as a good investment? Because I know a lot of like really reputable. I hate to keep saying that word, but a lot of really good financial analysts were saying a lot of good things about CrowdStrike, and it was actually doing really well. I know in the past year to date, it's still up 23%, and it just took a 17% hit. So, like, what do you feel is going to happen with a company that does something like this?
I think that companies make mistakes. Um, this wasn't the result of, well, I will say that, okay, so a couple of things. A lot of times with these type of cyber situations, the worst thing that can happen is, well, one of the worst things that can happen is like data gets stolen. PII gets stolen. That didn't happen in this case. It was an outage of a couple hours, but a couple hours can mean a lot, right? It sets everything back and starts to create a domino effect. But it was a known and contained situation. It was, oh crap, this happened. Let's fix it. Send out the updates. Within a couple of hours, it was fixed. It wasn't this vital piece of information was stolen. It's ransomware. Now we have to pay these people 2.7 $1 million to get it back. And if even if we do get it back, all the information is like still out there. I think that the reputation that CrowdStrike has built is one that can withstand something like this. Honestly, CrowdStrike is a
That's
great company. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I think it's a good company, bro. They've done a lot over the past couple of years, and they built a reputation that when you're, this just shows like the um the contingency plans that they have in place work. Like it wasn't this happened and we don't know what to do, and now people just can't fly for days. It was a couple hours, but
That
you
that's a
know,
good that's a I like that glass half full position that you just took with that.
yeah,
Cause I wasn't even thinking of it like that. Cause like look how well they handled
bro.
a mishap.
Right.
So
You
that's
talk
something
about
that
worldwide mishap where like, well, I don't know how many computers, but a ton of Windows computers were just all blue screen. And them able to just come in and be like, all right, let's not panic. We know what's happening. Let's just fix it. It was a coding error. Boom, send out this update and that should, make everything okay. But,
good.
people, they see this map. When people start to panic, everybody starts to panic. When everybody starts to panic, it just, yeah,
And also people are gonna harp on negative news more than positive. Like negative news spreads faster than anything that's positive.
right,
Like
right.
you could do something, you could do everything right your whole life, and then you make one mistake, and everybody like, oh, he did this, he did this.
And I think
So,
that's what this is, bro. You feel me?
I feel you,
Yeah,
man.
that's what this
So
is.
so let me ask you something. So do you feel like just like Nvidia, AMD, Taiwan Semiconductor, and just like the whole QQQ, as far as like Nas top 100 companies in Nasdaq, do you
Mm.
feel like this is also a purchasing opportunity
For
for
CrowdStrike,
them? Yes. Do you feel like CrowdStrike being down 17% in a week? Do you feel like that, which is huge? Do you feel like that is giving us an opportunity to buy?
I I will say that you have to watch the market after situations like this because people are still people. We don't know if they're going to continue to sell CrowdStrike. It happened on what, Thursday, Friday?
I think that was
I think
Thursday. I think it was like the 19th. What's the 19th? I think that might have been Thursday.
that was Friday. So it happened on Friday, and CrowdStrike. Let's see, that drop you're talking about. 11% of that was Friday, and
Yeah.
then yeah. So I think CrowdStrike was feeling the effects of the Tuesday sell-off, the Wednesday sell-off, but then on Friday when that happened, it just went down
Those
even. Yeah, it nosedive. So it was already like slightly feeling the effects because even from Tuesday to Thursday, it was down like 8%, 7%. But
Yeah.
that's because all the tech stocks were going down. And then what happened with the IT outage just made it go even further. So just like AMD, just like Nvidia, I do think that a lot of these IT tech stocks, Nasdaq 100 stocks, are putting themselves in a position to be scooped up. Personally, yeah,
Yeah.
I do think that they are because tech is a is a powertrain, bro. Like it's gonna make stops. It's gonna slow down. It can't just keep going up. That's just not how. Like the stock market just doesn't do that, right? It has to go down. And I feel like with this happening in such a short span, it's it's not like climbing down very slowly, right? This is a within a week, AMD dropping 17% is wild. You feel me? So I think that yeah, I mean we could see some more downward momentum, but I don't think it'll last very long. I
Yeah.
can't. I would. Mm-mm.
Like definitely not into the new year, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah, and we're talking
Yeah.
like months, right? Like we're not saying like next week your tech stocks are going to come right back up. I'm just saying like I don't think this is going to be anywhere close to like a dying market where Nasdaq is no longer a good investment. You know what I mean? Or the companies inside Nasdaq are no longer a good investment. I don't see that.
And the thing is, tech is the fastest growing sector for a reason, right? Because one thing,
Mhm.
every other sector needs technology, whether it's healthcare, whether it's transportation, you need technology. Banking, you got fintech, like you need technology in any sector. So I feel like that plays a big role also.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of every company needing something, you also, no matter what you do, if you're a banker, if you're a nurse, if you're an engineer, you got to understand your finances. So, if you haven't joined the Facebook group, please go ahead and subscribe. I mean, please go ahead and join the Facebook group. If you haven't subscribed, if you're a first time listener, hit that subscribe button because that's all we do, man. We talk about the most important things, which is your well, not the most important things, but one of the things that is involved in everyone's life, which is finances. And getting your finances figured out is very important. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button. And yeah, man, I ain't mean the tier like that, but what you said just kind of sparked that. Tech isn't everything. Finances is also in everything. So
Finances also and everything.
yeah.
And I know we spoke a little bit about this, but that's one of the reasons why I don't understand when people say that money's not important. Because I hear that
Yeah.
a lot actually. But
Mm,
yeah. So
yeah.
that's
But
something I
that's
would like to understand.
say that again.
I said that's something that I would like to understand.
That money is not important.
Yeah. Because how can you say something's not important but spend 40 hours a day? Not a day, 40 hours a week trying to get it.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess the idea of having a lot of money might not be important to people, but the reality is, in order to take care of the things that are important, you need money. Like, say money is not important. Say you're saying money is not important, but your dog is important. You need money to take care of your dog if he's or she is important to you. So,
Right.
at the end of the day, money is something that is still vital, whether or not it's important to you. It's a necessity. It's something that you need in order to if you consider yourself important, you need money to take care of yourself. So, however you slice it, money has to be a factor in your life, whether it's the most important thing or the least important thing, it's a requirement. Like
Right.
for the most part, like you got some people who just live off the grid, but we're talking like, regularly regulating life, purchasing things, having
Right.
a home, having a place to shower. Like you need money to do those things. You know what I mean? So
I agree. I
yeah,
agree, man. So yeah,
but yeah, last week was interesting. So my bad. What were you about to say?
I was about to say, yeah. So I feel like that pretty much sums sums up the week for sure.
Yeah.
And like just make sure that in anything that's going on, whether it be negative, whether it be something positive, put yourself in a position where you can capitalize on whatever's going on.
Hmm.
Same thing that we were talking about, like with the presidency last episode. Just put yourself in position.
Exactly. You gotta prepare because we don't know what the Biden administration is going to say tomorrow, and we don't know what
Right.
former President Donald Trump might say. We don't know what Elon Musk is going to say. But these people have such influence. We don't know what Roaring Kitty is going to say. These people, you know what I mean? Like we just have no idea. But these people and these individuals who are influencers, and when I say influencers, I'm not talking like YouTube influence. I'm talking about people who have like influence, who can make individuals like do things like sell a bunch of their shares of a particular stock because of what their
Same.
possible decision is. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we might do this thing. Oh, let's get rid of all our shares. You
Yeah,
know,
they can make a tweet and the stock market go crazy, which is crazy. Yeah,
so like, we have no idea what someone's planning, what they want to do, or even the effects of what they might say. They don't even probably know sometimes what the effects might be. They just are speaking their opinion on a platform where everyone can see it. So
like
basically, be prepared. Um,
put yourself in
as
position.
yeah, yeah, just be prepared in every way possible. So that is making sure that you understand like the money you have coming in, the money you have coming out, building up your investments because yes, having money in a savings account that doesn't outgrow inflation won't do you any favors. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's it, bro. I think.
Agreed, agreed. But as always, you all can reach us on Instagram, also TikTok, LinkedIn.
We do have a TikTok. Yeah,
Yeah,
come check us
we
out.
do. So at Investors Playbook LLC, also our website, www.investorsplaybookllc.com. And also join the Facebook group. As Ashawn said, it's a place where we would like everybody to thrive. We want to get the engagement up in there. And yeah, see y'all at Invest Fest.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Have a good one, y'all. Appreciate it.
Peace.